Welcome everybody back to the Lookout, episode 218. I'm of course Meelz. I am here with LJ himself. LJ, what's up?
What's good? I had to watch two teams that I wanted to both lose.
I wouldn't have watched. I didn't watch, so there we go.
No, you missed some good baseball. I can't lie to you. It was a very exciting series. I still, on live, but I wish just both stadiums crumbled like the Dark Knight Rises. And then we never had a winner. Absolutely.
People narratively trying to make this another W for Kendrick. I don't know. People need to move on. We also have 80
more talking points.
Yeah, we have 80 in the building. 80, what's up?
That was a great Game 7. That was what we needed for the NBA Finals Game 7 if Allie didn't get hurt. Game 7 overtime, double overtime.
Game 7 in the NBA, it was still pretty thin. Like it
was, but like
Pacers
imagine
were still up at the half. Like he got knocked out in the first quarter, and they were still up at the half. Like fucking.
But just imagine though,
bro, terrorized by TJ McConnell. Terrorized. I still have nightmares about this kid. Like 2 years in a row, he's just terrorized us. Like there's nothing that we can really do because he knows how to like just annoy the shit out of us. Like I need him gone, realistically. But even so, I mean the Pacers suck because everyone's injured. Mm-hmm. But they're still pretty they play pretty hard. So
yeah, they still got Siakam. They got Aaron Nesmith.
Yeah,
still do some work. But no, that Game 7 in the World Series, fantastic. Sohei gave up that 3-1 shot, but the Dodgers just kept him. That was crazy.
No, I want everyone to talk about this, right? As president of the Shohei Haters fan club, right? Why has no one talked about his shitty 2 pitching performances at all?
And get bailed out by Yamamoto for all 3 games,
bro.
Hey,
getting bailed out. I don't care about any batting stuff, bro. He got on that mound and got his ass handed to him. I don't want to hear nothing.
I'll tell you.
I don't want to hear nothing.
I'll tell you this.
He looked very average on that mound. I'm gonna say that.
I'll tell you this. History is written by the winners. And at the end of the day, they won the World Series despite his shortcomings. I say this even about New York Liberty, who won the WNBA championship last year, where Sabrina Ionescu was playing her shittiest game of all time. I mean, it was terrible. It was bad. She couldn't make a 3 to save her life. But we got bailed out by, I forgot what's her name. Might be Sabali. I forget. On the bench, her sister, not Sato Sabali. But we got bailed out crazy and ended up winning. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's written by the winners. No one remembers that. I mean, people remember Hallie getting thing, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like OKC won. Like, what do we have to say? The only people who put asterisks around things are like bubble championships, which is,
and haters like me, where I'm putting an asterisk on every World Series that is not won by the Yankees.
Amen.
Every single one of them.
We need to figure it out.
We need to start having cap holds, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Just
wait, what?
We need to start taxing folks, bro. I'm just saying, like they opened the checkbook for the Dodgers. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man,
listen,
fuck up the CBA like the NBA.
I'm anti
super teams,
bro.
Super teams. We need all the super teams. Open the pocketbook.
It is low-key like a super fucking team though. Like,
no, yeah, for sure. But I'm anti cap in MLB. I'm enjoying the 2026 season because boy, when that lockout happens, that's gonna be great.
It ruined the NBA, so couldn't hurt to ruin the MLB. Let's see what's going on here. Do we have any anime news this week other than Chainsaw Man, of course, being the #1 movie last week? Might even be out of theaters by now. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Well, there was I don't know if it was a typo or not, but on the official Chainsaw Man Twitter page, they said that it will be exclusive to theaters in 2026.
Ooh, okay. Must be sending it back out. I don't know. Who knows? I had an interesting. J5 said that the rest of the show should just come out in movies.
I agree.
I said it too.
Oh yeah, you said it as well. I forgot. You definitely said that as well. Because I definitely remember saying Jamal also said that. I don't agree. I feel like shows should be shows. There's still a beautiness. There's still a beauty in a really great television show. Like we can't all sell out to big cinema. You know what I'm saying? I
think it's different because I think it's in the same boat as Demon Slayer where they're not long running mangas.
I mean, so it's kind of now.
Well, I mean, now it is, yeah. Part 2, but like Demon Slayer isn't a long running one. I mean, the first part of this was what?
Yeah, it's kind of long. Demon Slayer.
This is longer than Demon Slayer now, though.
Yeah, Demon Slayer was like 200 chapters.
Not that long, bro.
Demon Slayer was like 220 chapters.
No, it's like 205.
170. Wasn't it 170?
No, it was like 205.
Yeah, it's definitely over 200 for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like just barely 200 over time.
I mean, AD, I don't listen. If AD says it's true, then I'm not gonna.
Oh, okay. 201. Wait, no, 205. Yeah, you're right. 205. Yeah, it's 205. It went on for a minute. It went for a hot minute. Chainsaw Man's entering the same.
205 though was super long though. Like I'm not considering that.
Come on,
205 ain't crazy.
205 is long, bro. 205 weeks. That's 4 years.
In comparison,
that's long.
Where did JJK end at?
JJK went long as hell too.
That was like 270, something like
279.
Yeah.
Where did
My Hero was over 400.
400.
So that's what I'm saying though. Like My Hero can do the seasonal things. They have enough. Like I just feel that 200 chapters is not a lot of.
But you can make a good. Go ahead.
You gotta think. How many chapters does usually a season of anime cover? Like 50?
It depends. It depends how long the season is. If it's a 24, 25 episode season, it covers a little bit more. If it's a 13 episode season, it covers a little bit less. But I think with Chainsaw Man, I mean, I still want there to be. I still think that it sets a bad precedent if shit just starts turning into movies. Like out of the blue. And granted, Chainsaw Man is like a great anime to be a movie. Like we just saw the movie last week. Great, full arc, solution, everything of the latter. But I feel like it sets a bad precedent if we just start movieing everything. You know what I'm saying?
So, I think it depends on the series, though. Yeah, like
if the needs to be a movie.
Yeah, if it depends on the quality. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like a show or a series, say like first 13 episodes or whatever, like the beginning of the series.
Kagurabachi is going to do their first season, and then the second season is going to be a movie. It's going to immediately, they're going to start thinking movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we start incorporating this in the movie? The only person, if My Hero had production issues or something, but the last season could be a movie. You know what I'm saying? It would be an extremely long movie.
But see, the thing with My Hero that I appreciated is they did movies that are canon to the story. So like,
canon. I'm gonna put it kind of canon.
Listen, I think Vigilantes could have been a movie.
Nah, Vigilantes kind of boring. Yeah, it's kind of boring. Like it's good, but it's
kind of boring. But I'm saying
there's gonna
with the length of what they're doing, like they could have made My Hero Vigilantes the movie. They could have. It would have been easy.
I feel like they're going to, but it might just end up being a crossover at a certain point. Like Vigilantes could be its own like series
when
movie.
when we get to after season 3 of JJK, and then they just decide to make the rest of it a movie.
Oh, I'm there. Gojo versus Sukuna, a movie?
Yeah, I know.
Part 1, part 2? Come on, man.
But think about, like, we can't just sell out to movies just because it's a movie. No,
I mean,
we can't continue.
I agree.
We can't continue allowing ourselves. We can't continue allowing ourselves to be baited into movies for things. You know what I'm saying? We gotta preserve the idea of a great series. That's all I'm saying.
Now, listen, blame Demon Slayer. Once they saw the money rolling in from that, they're like, shit.
I mean, should open the checkbook, bro. And this really all started with Dragon Ball, though.
It really started with Dragon Ball, but
even then, Dragon Ball wasn't. They didn't do it. They didn't do what Mugen Train did
because
it was the reverse.
20-year-old records.
No, this was the reverse with Dragon Ball though, because like the movies came first, and then they said, you know what? Let's actually, because we see the appeal in the theaters, let's go ahead and reboot the series. I know that's not really what happened. Jay, don't correct me on this, but I'm just getting the agenda off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He would listen to this and be like, you know what? You
Absolutely.
Tune in for Dubs Live because Jay was going to give us the full-blown history of how Dragon Ball movies were made.
No, I mean it was the first season of Dubs Live. So we got the content already. If you want to remix it, feel free to do it over.
I will not be participating in that episode. You guys, that's where my brain short wires right there. I short circuit.
I think, but I just don't want us to. Not necessarily but I don't want to continue to get used to movies for things. Like there's a magic in a great series. I know everyone's attention spans are kind of short, so they're not able to really lock in for like 12 to 13 weeks. But there's a magic in a good series, like a good series. You know what I'm saying? Like
I fully agree with you, right? I fully agree with you in that, and I think that outside of the big ones, the big shonen joints, and really I don't, outside of maybe Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, I'm not even fully sold on the idea of a JJK Sukuna versus Gojo movie. I could see it happening, wouldn't be against it, but I don't think everyone should do it, but I think there are some that will work. I think Chainsaw Man is one of them that will work, as if you just turned every arc into a movie.
The problem is, all right, we're getting into super spoiler territory, but this is also a manga episode that we're talking about. So if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you're in tap with the manga. The thing about the JJK ending becoming a movie is it's going to start backwards in how a movie actually starts, because it's beginning with a 45-minute fight, and then probably ending with at least 4 more 40, hour and a half fight. It's actually full fighting. It actually wouldn't make a good movie now I think about it.
Yeah,
no, because what they would do is
I think JJK's done missed their movie window. Outside,
so here's the thing:
the theater, the episode theater experience. You get the first 3 episodes and whatever, but I think they've missed their window of making it.
They'd probably decide, okay, we're gonna. They'll probably cut the core in 2. Make maybe 12 episodes, maybe a couple episodes for the first part, and then probably just air Sukuna and versus thing in a movie as well. They'll air it on the show, but then they'll just throw it in a movie theater as well. I don't know. What were you saying, AD?
I was gonna say the thing that they could do that we saw in Chainsaw Man is at least add scenes in. So how we didn't really get those flashbacks to all of their trainings and whatever like that. Right. I think that's what they could add in to kind of run pad out the runtime for at least that part.
We ain't fixing no gay mistakes. That's what this series is for. JJK Modulo or Modulo or Modelo or whatever it's called. But before we get to that, because that is absolutely what we're talking about this week, we're going in full manga talk. Shout out to the Big Eyes gang, a big manga talk. I want to ask, has anyone watched One Punch Man since it's come back?
Oh, no, not at all. Haven't seen it.
No.
Oh, okay. No. The clip that went viral of the bad animation. Actually, multiple bad animations.
Oh, I've seen that where he was just sliding down the hill, that one.
Yeah. That when they turned that guy into a woman, even though he's not a woman, in the show, because I guess the animators weren't briefed on that it was not a woman. But he was fully turned in. It seems like a shit show, but it also seems like a good time. I might tune in after this.
One Punch Man was cursed. It's been cursed.
Yeah, I think the lack of momentum, it's like the last 2 seasons of Atlanta, where it just came. I didn't care anymore. Like, I don't really like Childish Gambino anymore. I don't really care for his ideas or anything. I heard the last 2 seasons of Atlanta were good, but I didn't care anymore.
It was solid, but
yeah, I feel you. I also probably should. It's on the same Hulu, so I'll probably need to watch that as well.
Really quick, I do want to get this off because there is just like one quick anime news, and it's about the One Piece series going one chapter episode. So they're actually trying to properly pace everything out now.
26 episodes per year.
Yes, 26 episodes a year.
I love that for you.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, you're
One Piece will see.
All right.
No, One Piece will see me in 2026. Like, fully.
Okay. You're gonna watch episode by episode, or are you just gonna wait for it to build up and then watch it all at the same time?
I've already let it build up, so like I'm going to dive in by the end of the year and just like.
Oh, you are a sicko, man. Not on this podcast, I'll tell you that.
One Piece, baby. Let's get it.
But no, it is a great idea. I mean, it's something that they should have been doing for a very, very long time. It's great that they're kind of like modernizing their process. And like, okay, we don't have to kill ourselves every week to put out an episode. Let's just do it this, that, and the third. And it seems like over the last number of years, they've been affected by the schedule, and now, because there's so many fucking animes out and studios working on so many different projects, it is what it is. But I'm happy. I'm happy. Maybe I can catch up. Maybe one day, eventually, I'll start reading it. Maybe.
Eyebrow raising right there.
Yeah, big eyebrow. But I'll try. Last bit of things before we get.
Try. You either do or you don't.
I will try. Last bit of news before we head over to this. We had the fan vote. The biggest election that we have this season. And next week, between Frieren and Solo Leveling Season 2, we will be talking about Frieren, the core 2 of Season 1. It won out the votes by 20%. Apparently people do not. I don't know. Here's my thing, right? Love Frieren. Love Solo Leveling. I feel like Frieren fans, I feel like it's very pretentious now to really love Frieren as much as people love Frieren or say they love Frieren. I feel like
let's get it, baby. We in a class of our own.
I feel like everyone's like, no, but it's the better series because blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what really makes it better? What makes it that much better than Solo Leveling? Solo Leveling does action very, very well. So I don't know. We just live in different worlds, but nonetheless, we will be covering Frieren next week. So that means I got to catch up on Frieren for next week. No, actually, I did. I watched it already.
You watched the second core already?
Yeah, I watched it already. I need to I need to watch it over again. I know what happens with the clones and all the other extra shit that happens. I've watched it all. I finished it up. I just need to watch it again because it helps watching it a second time. But it's a solid thing. Solo Leveling Season 2 will have its time on the pod. Maybe before Season 3 comes out. Who knows? But it is not next week. Next week we will be covering Frieren. If you have not watched Frieren, if you don't know Frieren, get caught up. Any thoughts on the results by you two, you Frieren fighters?
The people know what they want, bro. How am I to argue against the people? Who am I? Who am I to go against what democracy has elected as our next episode?
Democracy is always doesn't get it right all the time.
There must be something about Season 2 that people are just like, And it's not worth it. Go ahead and tackle Frieren. There must be something.
People feel like Frieren is the better series because it's the pacing and all these other things, and kind of soul leveling it comes off as this one-dimensional thing. I don't think it's necessarily that bad. It's that one-dimensional, especially if it does the dimension very right. But it is what it is. I feel like I don't want it to become this.
No, we'll argue next week.
Yeah, we'll argue next week. Let's get into the manga talk.
I can't lie. I expected more from you though.
Yeah,
it kind of hurts to hear you talk like this.
I'm not going to argue. It is what it is at this point. I'm glad people voted. And glad
real et tu Brutus.
Like, yeah, it just is what it is. I can't. It's been a couple days. We're officially chopping up, talking about the sequel, JJK Modulo, depending on where you come from, or Modello, depending on what you enjoy. But we're officially talking about the sequel series, the sequel manga series, the original Jujutsu Kaisen. It kind of really flips the entire concept of Jujutsu Kaisen on its head, while it keeps the standard base of this is about curses and fighters and people trying to stop curses. It completely flips it upside down by introducing one singular item that partly has plagued anime for quite some time. And no, unfortunately not time travel, but I'm not throwing it out of the question. That JJK would have a time travel series at some point. But aliens are here and they're in Jujutsu Kaisen. So I went online and I decided, okay, what are the best anime about aliens?
There's a few.
10. Here's the top 10 via ranker. Are you ready?
Via ranker.
Let's get it.
Shout out to ranker.
Shout out to ranker. Number 10, Space Battleship Yamato 2199.
Never seen
a classic.
Okay. Number 9, Inuyashiki.
Betting gas 10 out of 10. We might have to cover that one time. It's 10 episodes.
Okay.
It's the series with a guy that's like, oh, you like Zoro or something? Y'all ever seen that random meme?
No.
No, I have not.
Okay. No news to me. Put it on the list maybe for next summer. Tenchi Muyo, number 8.
A classic.
Okay.
Shout out to Toonami.
Number 7, Knights of Sidonia.
Another classic.
Scenes 3D. I don't like the animation. You know how I feel about 3D. Number 6, Space Dandy.
Yeah, baby.
There you go. Number 5, Gintama.
I've tried to watch Gintama. I don't know what that is, bro. It's
number 4, Outlaw Star.
Okay. That's definitely a classic right there.
Yeah.
Number 3, One Punch Man. I don't know how this got here. Number 2, Dragon Ball Z.
Of course.
And the number 1 is not the number 1 anyone I was thinking of, to be honest with you. Parasite the Maxim. To which I asked, where the hell's Cowboy Bebop? I guess Cowboy Bebop.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's about aliens and Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop didn't make it.
Yeah. Very
Parasite number 1 though.
Parasite the Maxim. I think that's the second anime I've ever seen, maybe third anime that I've ever seen. Parasite the Maxim. So that's a little tip. But Jujutsu Kaisen, how do we feel about the edition? Because it is a stark difference. How do you feel about? Do you feel like they're going to explain a link between cursed energy and whatever the aliens possess? Because they've already established that both these things are incredibly similar, and we're not getting. I'll lay out the general idea what JJK Modulo is, but do you feel happy knowing that cursed energy could be potentially linked to some alien item? Thoughts?
No, I don't like it, and I have not enjoyed reading this one bit. I'm just gonna get that out the way now.
Okay,
we're just gonna put that into the open. This has not been enjoyable.
I have not hated it. Believe it or not.
I don't hate it, but I have not enjoyed it.
Okay.
I wish it was called something else other than JJK.
Ooh, okay. But it borrowed. All right, so why? Why 80?
It's the name itself, and like I guess the characters involved to an extent just give you the impression that not necessarily impression, but it's just like it's buying time. It's baiting the readers into saying, "Oh, this is JJK. This is Gege's next work. What happened after all the things that happened 60 plus years ago at the time of this story, however have you." I think it's just like trying to get us wrapped in, but it has nothing to do with that.
They're expanding the universe,
They could have expanded the
Go ahead.
They could have expanded the universe like with a more contemporary time to what JJK was, but now they had to go far into the future to remove anything that literally deals with like the main story, other than just like curse techniques and things like that. But everything that so far has happened in the last 8 chapters at the time of this, it really has nothing to do with JJK. Like the storytelling, none of that. Like I understand that like the alien part is like, I told you how I felt when we first talked about it, bro.
Right. It's drawn.
They could have did anything else with the world itself. There was no need for aliens. That's just me, bro. Like it's a lot of things that go into this that just make me feel like you just use the name of JJK to kind of get people interested, but it hasn't been appealing enough to do what JJK did originally.
LJ?
Yeah, I just don't know. Obviously when JJK ended, we all were pretty much in agreement that there will be a spinoff, there will be a part 2, a sequel, or something. I think we all kind of seen that coming. I think everything from how this has been released, how he was talking about it, it just wasn't. I even think timeline wise, like it feels so soon after, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel that it's just not good right now. It's just not looking good. It's not feeling good. The alien stuff is just back to being confusing. It's like Gege didn't like learn from his past mistakes at all. You got these huge text walls, and I'm just like, all right, we got one Togashi. We don't need another one. I at least like the fact that he brought on another artist to do the art.
Sure.
So, but I don't know. Like, I just feel that right now where this is at, and obviously it's 9 chapters in. Well, we know that what he said, this is only going to run for 6 months.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be
like 30 chapters,
allegedly.
Yeah. So it's like you don't have a lot of time.
But here's the thing. Based on the pacing of this, he's going at a pretty quick pace for this thing.
He has to. At this point, you have to put a cap on him.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what happens if you kind of give him an unlimited amount of time to just run lengthwise, and you're kind of just like, he can spiral quickly.
I'll say this. The series kind of reminds me of Bleach. More bleachy than anything, but then it also, you guys mentioned Boruto a lot as well. But it reminds me very heavily of Bleach, but it's weird, right? I think it's the right move to depart while still borrowing from things, because there's still references to things that happen. There's references to Yuji in this thus far. There's been an appearance, not fully sure, of Maito in this manga. So that is happening. You know what I'm saying? So there are things but I do appreciate him fully separating this from the JJK universe, that to allow people to get more invested into these characters, right? You've given these characters, the only thing you're putting The only thing you've really kind of like leaned on was that the two main characters of the show, which are Sugiri and what's my girl's name?
Fuck. What is her name?
Sugiri and hold on. All right, characters.
I got it.
JK Modulo.
Yuka.
There we go. Actually, let me open my notes. I was trying to wheel this off the top of my head. Let me actually open the notes that I took. Or that they're connected to, of course, Maki Zenin and Yuta Okotsu. So that's really kind of the only thing. And you use that kind of like frame of reference to be like, okay, at least they're connected to these characters and they're strong. One has, immense curse power. One uses heavenly restriction, just like Yuta and Maki. And it's established from there. I think the alien part of it kind of takes it in a very different direction. I don't hate it because I like what they've established thus far. And I like how the parallels between Maru and, oh my God, what's the other guy? Cross. Maru and Cross, and Yuka and Sugiri, and the parallels between that. And I think what he's been doing better than what he did in the initial JJK, which felt like it was flying from the seat of its pants most times in terms of like shit that's just kind of made up, was that he seems more intentional with the plot now than what he was doing before. Because you remember before, like JJK, I mean, Yuji dies in the first like 8 episodes and then just randomly comes back. And when he explains why Yuji dies, it's just because like he wanted to make it more interesting. He's not afraid to kill characters to make it really interesting. But from this kind of like series, he seems a lot more intentional with what he's doing and what he's establishing. And you can see it from the beginning. He establishes the idea of this ring between Sugiri and Yuka, and he establishes this idea of this like relationship between Maru and Cross and the Simurians and kind of all of that other stuff like that. And also borrowing from like the aspect of like the curse energy and all this stuff like that. So I haven't hated it. Especially reading it a lot bit more. But one of my downfalls to it, while the artwork is very good, the text and the explaining of pretty much everything, it is a slog to get through.
Oh, it's not. He wants to write a novel so bad.
Yeah. I'm happy that it's just not, explaining powers anymore,
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get there soon. Especially after chapter 9. They're going to explain something about their powers. It's going to be 3 pages long.
No, but I think one of the things is also like, we haven't really seen a lot of the major things that have really like defined JJK. When you look at things like, I don't think we've seen a domain expansion yet in this show.
We saw a simple domain, not a full domain expansion.
Yeah.
Which to me, actually, that was one of my like, isn't he not supposed to be able to do that?
Well, no.
Even the explanation for that is like, oh, he can use his cursed item
to launch the simple domain. But I'm like, you have heavenly restriction. Like, you're not supposed to be able to wield curse energy in that kind of way. You're not supposed to come up with a simple domain. He's curse energy. He has no curse energy. So
I'm not gonna argue that one because, like,
that's what it's the rules he established. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it looked fire, but I'm like, this is the rules you established. But I guess the domain is in
cursed energy inside the weapons.
It's in the shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be the shoes.
It's the be like Mike system.
Absolutely. So it's just strange, but kind of like going through the entire series. So the plot of it begins with aliens kind of approaching Earth, and we see this background. We see Cross, and we see Dabura, whose name is eventually revealed a little bit later, and we see them approaching Earth, and that's kind of like how it begins. And then we get down to Earth, and we see kind of how everyone is kind of we're catching up with everyone, and Maki's super old and Yuka's super old, and then they both die of oldness. But they leave their which I was like, where are the parents? I mean, we see one of the parents. One of the parents kind of a dick. Because Yuta bestows a ring upon Yuka, and then the mother takes it from him and says, no, Sakura needs this ring. Like, you need to give it to him. But now she wants to prove that she's strong enough to get the ring back, and he wants to prove she's strong enough to not need the ring. So it's kind of like these two, they're yin and yanging kind of a little bit.
Even though he could have just been like, hey, take this back. I don't
take this shit back. Nah, I can't. His mom will go crazy.
She's not even around no more.
Is she? Is she dead?
No, they're around. They're just around.
I mean, listen, they ain't around enough.
So you know how anime parents are.
Yeah, their brother sister curse fighting team. And then they're suddenly paired up with the new kid, who is apparently Maru, who is an alien. The first chapter, which is incredibly long, and a lot of events actually happen to it, or they're investigating a case in which these children are being abducted by this one thing. They end up finding out who it is. It's this guy abducting kids, essentially to use their curse energy to sell on the black market, or whatever curse energy that kids possess. They go look for him. They end up finding him. Saguri ends up getting captured because he doesn't have much curse energy. They go looking for him, and there's a lot of explanation about, like, you should love your brother. You should thank your brother. They end up going looking for him, and they learn about the pretty much aliens during this, because he finds out pretty much by leaks and stuff that the government has stumbled across aliens, and, they are a real thing, to which is like, what? It can't be real aliens. Little did they know they're working with an alien. They end up kind of coming to that summation.
Aliens and curses. Listen, Dandadan
was ahead of the game.
Dandadan's influence.
They end up coming to the summation of that there's an alien among us once they end up seeing Maru's power, which was essentially like, we don't even know what it's. I mean, we know what it's called now, but it's not really. It's not cursed energy, but it's incredibly similar to cursed energy. Call it what you will, and that's how the first chapter. And actually, the second chapter actually kind of picks up from there with the whole meeting of the aliens and stuff like that. So I like what do you guys think of the relationship between the brother and sister in this series?
I think I was about to say it feels very anime typical, like
anime typical tropes. You got, what are they, twins, right?
Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah.
They're twins. One twin they love each other, but they don't like each other, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's either you really love each other or like you hate each other.
Yeah, like that's how it usually goes.
But they're kind of separated based off of, I mean, they were always fighting as a kid to determine who is stronger, but they're kind of separated by this idea of the ring that holds the power. You know what I'm saying? People don't even really know what full power it is yet. And then we meet the Japanese diplomacy with the aliens. Now, Usami and Jabaloma Usami meets Jabaloma and Cross, and he's scared of how because it could end up in a war. And one of the big things is that they're trying to prevent a war. The Simurians are insisting that this isn't necessarily an invasion because they're refugees, but it could very well turn into something on the level of the fight with Sukuna, which I'm assuming at some point it turns into. But I could be incredibly wrong, because how many things in the original JJK were hinted at that actually never came to fruition? That giant curse shit that was supposed to be at the end of the thing. oh my God, if curses take over, and then it could be in this, and then it just never happened because they killed the nigga. So the threat is on par with Sukuna. The Simurians' one request is for one of their envoys to accompany the JJK sorcerers to school and missions while concealing their alien identity. Usumi, however, stands firm. War must be avoided at all costs. He argues that humans and simurians must pursue true harmony, something that he believes can only be achieved through the spirit of youth than rigid adult formalities. However, Cross doesn't really fuck with humans. He don't really fuck with anybody.
I fuck with Cross. That's my guy.
You talk about anime tropes. You fuck with Cross.
I love it. I love it. Hey, fuck y'all.
Misunderstood trauma by the past that he's taking out on you people from the present. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, my man said, fuck y'all, fuck everybody, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy.
We gonna get it out the mud.
He was like, hey man, I don't care about none of y'all.
So we go from there. I mean, eventually they're told that he's an alien because it gets out because of the power that he used. So Usumi, who's a detective, essentially is like, yo, just don't tell nobody. Chill. You know, he's an alien, but, you know, aren't we all aliens? You know what I'm saying? In this brave new world. So we get to, I mean, we have various adventures. I mean, this is where I feel like it's speeding up, right? Like, they go on various adventures to kind of like.
I would say the old man first grader fight was pretty
great.
Tight.
It's original,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
original.
that was fire. That was fire.
You didn't like the forest shark, the shark that just went to the forest, and then he's like, "It's actually not me. It's this tiger that's been rampaging over the world."
It wasn't bad. This is what we needed, though, out of the original JJK. Like, there weren't that many like cases that were like this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it started off with a bunch of cases. The first season is a bunch of cases, actually. First season is a bunch of cases, but I do agree with you in that aspect. And honestly, this is what the series need, because it really establishes kind of the relationship. You really see the relationship between Suguri and Yuka on display. You see their relationship with Maru and kind of like how he plays kind of like I won't say comic relief, but he brings a levity to the situation that's usually very serious because of how these two are going against each other. And then, like you said, the fight with the old first grader guy who, you know, they establish is like, oh my God, is that this? And they're like, no, it's actually this. They get through the fight. Eventually, Maru gets hurt during this fight. But as Suguri and Yuka are about to, you know, bite the dust, his third eye opens. There you go. And suddenly he can no longer control his powers because it's literally just the third eye. He's unconscious, but the third eye is open. So he's super strong. He can't control any of his powers. He can't do anything. You know, he's
just beating the dog shit out of this old man, essentially.
Yeah, until his brother shows up and stops.
It's like,
yes,
yeah, you know, hit him with the nigga chill, like, you know, twist his arm behind his back, relax.
I mean, again, these chapters as well. Upon rereading it, I kind of appreciated a lot more once we got that flashback, which happens in chapter 8 and 9, and I don't know, maybe 10 in the future. Who knows? It looks like it's over, to be honest with you.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I think, like, once again, there are moments that are good, that I feel that are better than what was happening in JJK. I think going back to the cases, I think that's something that JJK should have leaned into more in terms of, like, that should have felt more of like a detective series than a spiritual fighting than, you know, all these other things series, like where they're going case by case that are leading into like this bigger thing. I think is what this is doing a bit more, which is better. I think I like the whole theme of the sibling kind of, you know, you got the alien siblings, you got the twins, you know, so you kind of see how they interact with each other and their feelings. So you know, one sibling, you know, it creates some level of comparison and contrast.
Yeah,
between the humans and the aliens.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. But then there's also some moments where I'm like, this feels forced. Like, I don't know. Like, there is just like, there's some essence of Gege. And maybe my issue is that he has some stench on him from the last series that he just can't shake from me. So like now I'm maybe being hyper vigilant in like seeing things. So like, see, you ain't learned your lesson. You're doing that bullshit again. You know, like,
to be honest with you, if they, in my opinion, the lack of calamity in this, like the lack of chaos more than anything in this series is really what distinguishes. Like, sometimes I even think sometimes shit is going too well in this series.
Yeah, because that's what I was about to say. It's really because, like, in regular JJK, in the first part, where he established that, you know, there are curses and Yuji has to come to terms with accepting that, hey, we can kill these curses, but at some point, these curses may start to become more human and will eventually, you know, you'll have to fight cursed humans. And so you'll have to come to terms with, hey, you might have to kill this nigga. Like, you know, because it started off with like, oh, these are just curses. These are just demons. This feels like a manga, blah, blah, blah. And then when he comes to the, you know, Junpei stuff, it's like, oh, no, they're actually humans eventually that you'll have to come to terms with killing because there's no way back for them. With this one, we haven't gotten to that point yet because they're fighting humans with cursed energy and cursed techniques, but they aren't necessarily killing them. What would happen if you have to come to terms with this all-out war and you have to kill somebody, you know, who's on the opposition? You know what I'm saying?
Someone will die in this series. I mean, it's already. I mean, I don't want to say it's already hinted. I mean, the girl she's got a tumor, which feels very small. You know, it feels very small in comparison to actually what's actually. No offense, like, you know, tumors is tumors, but shout out to anyone who's going through that, or you know, I hope you strengthen all this other stuff like that. But in this very otherworldly thing where curses and tigers and old men with shikigamis and shit, I was like, there's more than one way to die in this series. Like, you know, brain tumors actually, he's like, I got 6 months to live. I'm like, well, I guess the series is going 6 months. Maybe. Unless the aliens, I mean, alien might have the power to pull the tumor out.
Rewrite it. Because that was the other thing with like JJK is like, you know, he did establish this like kind of late, but rewriting your curse technique in your brain or whatever will cause you to die. So he does have an out to say, oh, we can just rewrite this. You may not have any cursed energy anymore, but you know, you'll be able to live. There's something there that he has an out with because he did establish that. But
right.
You know.
I also think there's an underlying tension between in this series that's lurking with like who's going to make will this end up being, and it leans more into kind of like the flashback episodes, will this end up leading into something happening which causes a war between the Simurians and the curse users? Will something be established? Like, we're getting close now, right? Chapter 7 ends up being this kind of like, you see kind of, we saw the relationship between Sagiri and Maru and how they work together, and even Yuka and Maru. But now we're seeing Yuka and Cross, and they're establishing what, you know, she's essentially saying like, yo, I definitely have problems, but you know, this is that and the third, and he's essentially like, don't try to like out problem me, fuck you.
My trauma is greater than yours.
My trauma is.
They're definitely hitting trauma wars. They're going band with trauma.
It's trying to be trauma bonding, but like, you know.
Yeah, but I trauma me, bitch. What's wrong with you? So they go back and forth, but I feel like they eventually, by the end of the chapter, they come to some sort of medium as well. Like, or at least she comes to the standpoint of like, you know, what she says, let's put an end to all of that. And it's an early indication of like, we don't want to start nothing and it don't be nothing. But he's still kind of skeptical, and you can see why, kind of based on his past, because from there on it goes into the flashback section, which And the standard JJK was an entire arc. You know what I'm saying? And this one, it seems like it's 2 episodes. Very Dragon Ball Z coded. I mean, to the designs, to the gi,
to the name of Dabura.
To the name of Dabura. Kind of like everything here. We see both Cross and Maru as kids, and we see how they essentially have come up under what's my name? Daru? Let's see. Dura.
He was cool.
Sorry. Yeah, he was alright. He was cool. So he's like their Gojo, essentially. But we see I mean, it's a lot of text. Don't get me wrong. Again, they don't mince words in any of these chapters. I'm going through these now. There's very few panels with just like pictures. It's like everything is like text, dialogue, exposition, etc. But they established the world of what they were in. The Simurians had a planet, or at least a part of a planet, that they shared with the Sunta guys. The Kunta
Kinte.
Yeah, the Skunta Kintes.
Real African with that one, didn't they? Just, hey, listen, third eyes. The Skunta. Hey, listen, you got it. Gege writing this with his Kinte cloth on. You know?
There you go. He built a whole canal. So they were building a canal. It was like, oh my god, think of all the shit that they teach you in fucking grade school. Think of the trading. Think of the irrigation. You know what I'm saying? Think of the stuff we could buy, the money that we can make with this canal. Before, we used to have to travel all the way around there, and they showed like this bum ass map. And now we can just come through the canal. It was the least interesting part of this. Yeah, they're just teaching me about canals, but suddenly this
is a random question, completely random. Do y'all know how to read a map?
Yeah, I know how to read multiple maps. Okay. At one point, my job was to read maps.
That's kind of I know this story.
Yeah. At one point, I know how to read all types of maps, topographic maps. I know how to read like electrical maps. I can read a map if it has a good flow to it.
Before GPS, before MapQuest, you know. So.
Oh yeah, that too.
Listen, I think map reading is just a lost skill. Like I'm pretty sure if I handed a 19-year-old a map right now and be like, "Hey, like show me a route to get from here to here," they'll look at me like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?" Like I'm about to just. That's what I got my iPhone for.
I got Waze. Like,
so we go through this flashback. Great art during all of this stuff, and they do the little mini page, little funny stuff, and you see the panda still alive.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a little cute. It was cute. Panda's still alive. He's still a doll, but he's still alive. So they go through it. It said like the daughter of the Diskunte chieftain was killed by a Kalon, which is like this mythical animal, and they're like, oh shit. It was all good until this nigga, the Kalons got let loose. So they were like, the Diskuntes do not, you know, they're people who take it a step. They essentially have no chill. They're the no chill clan. It said the same is true for us, but the Diskunte tribe takes it one step further. Whoever is strongest is the one who's right. They settle disputes by having each side choose a champion to battle in a one-on-one duel. If they win, they're free to trample on the opponents until their goal has been achieved. And if they lose, they accept their opponent's demands and end the dispute. And I was like, a duel? Okay.
I'm not going to lie. This low-key felt like a One Piece flashback.
I could see it. Which arc?
Somewhere in between like Skypiea and like Dressrosa. Skypiea because of like the tribal
you really
ancestral.
It down there. Yeah.
No. I'm not saying like I'm not saying like
which episode between those two things.
Not the length of time between both of those arcs, but like No, the whole tribal thing, and then like in Dressrosa is like the whole champion aspect of it, of the stadium. That's really it.
There you go. They essentially was like, we had one back in the day, and they sent every motherfucker at Dura, but he was the winner. And Dura's like, yeah, or farming. He's like, yeah, had to do it to him.
I don't care. I don't even really want to do this.
So he was like, I will fight again. Fuck it. Since I'm undefeated. And then who do they send out? Dabura. And everyone's like, God, you see this nigga? He got horns where things are not. He got earlobes that are crazy. Like, you see this? And he's also aura farming. He's just like, I was sent here because they have my sister, and they threaten to kill her if I don't fight. So I mean, even that exposition I just laid out was way too expressive and exciting for him. He doesn't seem. He seems very stoic. And forlorn. And then, as they're about to fight, Dura lets some heat off. He's like, hey man, let me tell you something, nations. They're gonna tell you that this was some sort of religious, issue that we have together, just so y'all can't get involved, because you'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to get involved. It's customs, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to offend. But that's some bullshit, because what they really want is their resources. I forget what it's called specifically, the rock.
Mole, I think.
Yeah, which is it's like the purest curse energy that ever. It's the purest of the pure. But they really wanted to mine them for Muir, so they made some shit up probably. So he was like, essentially, yo, don't believe what you see. You know what I'm saying? Only believe what you hear.
Only half of what you see.
You're right. There you go. Talk to me. I forgot the actual quote.
We don't know what you hear and half of what you see, even if it's spat by me. With that said, I cue niggas dead. He dies. Oh my god!
Keep your third eye open. Anyway, they don't even show the fight. This has been great to see. They're really holding out Dabura in action, because this is one of the. I'm like, damn, they pieced him out very quickly.
But the other thing is like, because he was technically Dura was stronger than him. Like, he fought him before and won. And became the champion. So it's like,
I don't know. Did he fight him? Or
they said he fought him.
Oh, really? I thought he just fought whoever they sent out before. Because they said that they were friends, like best friends. Dabura and Dura.
Yeah.
And they anyway, he puts the Beats by Dr. Dre on this nigga. And fully beats him up off panel, rather. And the kids are crazy. They have a good burial for him, and you learn that the only time they cry is when they're about they cry out their third eye is when they're about to die or dying or something. So that was interesting. Either way, he says, Dora told me something he left for you, and he's like, is all that all them rocks that he was leaving before? And
wait,
they're like,
also we're missing a key moment here. Where my guy said, I didn't touch his face so he could have a proper burial. I'll be like, all right, bro, someone hand me a gun immediately so I can.
Damn, you trying to get this nigga closed casket, bro? Like, that's crazy.
Hey,
he said, I didn't touch his face so he can have. I'm like, hey, get the biggest blower you can find. I'm gonna let it ring in this bitch. Like, this guy is disrespectful.
My God, he put the Beats by Dr. Dre on this motherfucker, man. I mean,
with all body shots. Let's remind you this. He didn't punch him in the face not one time. Nothing but ribs and gut punches.
It's a wrap. Beautiful open casket, I think. The panel looks awesome.
The casket was hard. I'm gonna have to screenshot that. I'm gonna have to copy that in the future.
So they left him mole. Mind you, these people, they're aliens, but they also reference, I don't know if Gege meant to do this, that they reference that they're also humans.
Yeah, I did notice that.
He was like, we're just humans. And I'm like, aren't y'all aliens? I guess y'all could be humans too. I mean, aliens is, if Goku an alien, you like an Earthling, I guess, but some of y'all don't look like.
Is humans like the form, like, you know?
But this is what we're trying to figure out. So he left him all fucking what's my name? Maru was like, yo, we could do anything with these things, and then all types of Disney magic ends up making it into a spaceship. And that's where we're in chapter 9 thus far, but there's still a lot of questions up in the air in terms of how cursed energy and their power, which is established a name, but I forgot right now, are related. It would kill me if it would absolutely kill me if this all came from originally alien shit before. It might legit kill me if now I have to remember the entire premise of the original Jujutsu Kaisen was that this is alien powers that have been passed down from alien to human to alien to human. Another thing, Mahito is mentioned in this. We actually see him in this arc. He has one panel. I'm trying to look for it. Oh, there we go.
Chapter, yeah, baby.
The return.
Yeah, they're pretty late this time. I don't like that. I think it was chapter 7, right?
No, it was chapter 7. So he's in the
hyperbolic time chamber.
Well, no, it's Saguri who has the dream, and he's like, "Damn!" So it's not him after all, is what Mahito says, and it's like, "Wow, okay." So he might still be alive, which would be awesome for me.
What if Mahito is the one that causes the war between the aliens and the humans?
I could see it.
Yeah,
I could see it. But then they also mention Yuji somewhere in this. I'm trying to find the chapter as well.
That was like chapter 4.
Yeah. 4. It was like, I never had fear of anyone except this one hood booger, you know, with a hood on. I haven't experienced fear ever since I met them. I was like, okay, so you was old enough to know Yuji in them. So who knows? We don't know who's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Technically, dying of old age, I mean, they're all around the same fucking age. So does it really matter? But is there a possibility that Yuji's still alive?
Yeah.
That Magumi's still alive?
He was at least younger than
a year younger than Yuta.
But they died of old age.
Dead.
I mean,
yeah, them niggas dead, bro.
Maybe he's dead.
Because Yuta and them died when our main characters were still kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe so yeah, Yuji and gang, they all in the dirt.
Yeah, maybe he's dead. But who knows? I mean, lots of questions. We should be roughly a third of the way through this. Should be. So thus far, I mean, I don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? I like the story that they're establishing. It's, again, very jarring in comparison to the original Jujutsu Kaisen. But this seems way more thought out than the original Jujutsu Kaisen. But also, I kind of like the dynamics that we're playing with here. And I think if you compare this too heavily to the original Jujutsu Kaisen, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Whereas you kind of got to take this as a series really standing on its own to kind of appreciate it a bit. Now, granted, they could do some dumb shit in 2 chapters that I don't fucking agree with.
I think that's why it's so hard. Like, I want to enjoy this, and I'm not enjoying it because I feel it's just like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like right now, I'm in a toxic relationship with Gege. Like this is me keep going back to my ex, even though they keep showing me that they're a bad person. You know, like I give you faith. You know, I'm putting my faith in you. Things are good. You love bomb me, and then like the real you shows up, and I'm just like, fuck. You know,
there you go.
You know, and that's what this feels like. I feel I'm being love bombed right now, and it's hard for me to enjoy the love bombing because I'm just like, I know at any moment he can get in his own head. At any moment he can get way too like lyrical, miracle, spiritual, you know, whatever.
To be fair, he doesn't have the constraints that he had the original one. I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened in the original Jujutsu Kaisen was because at any time his series could have been canceled. I think he mentioned that as well. The reason why he killed Yuji so early was like, yo, this series about to be canceled. Let me just kill this thing. And if it's not canceled, I'll bring him back. But there's so much things that are kind of like going on in this. I think it's still open. I think people should still give this a chance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
I would like to
go ahead.
I was gonna say I would like to compare this more because like I'm having to like readjust myself too because like I said, it's like you said, it's not bad. And
it
if you compare it
to me, I don't know. It feels bleach.
It feels I could say bleach, but I have to think about it more like in JoJo's terms. Where like it's a part for each one and each part is its own individual story that they're trying to tell.
There you go. Because I don't think this is beyond like, this isn't like a direct sequel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This isn't like Digimon Adventure Season 2. This isn't like one of them. This is like Digimon Tamers. You know what I'm saying? This is like the Digimon with the trains. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what that season was called. Season 4.
Frontier.
This is like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. You know, I think that's even probably a more accurate comparison because of how much Gege is interested in stuff. There's a lot more stakes on the line. I don't hate this series thus far. I think once it gets an anime, it'll be pretty good. I think it'll be announced for an anime pretty soon. Actually, probably before the original JJK is over, to be honest with you.
You really think so?
Yeah. Money? What?
Man.
They're like, listen, if the My Hero Vigilantes is out, we can get this.
But My Hero Vigilantes, like the whole manga ended, and it was like years after. And then they're like, okay, well,
yeah, but this it hasn't ended yet. The original My Hero hasn't ended yet. And we got a whole season of Vigilantes because it's a story that kind of lives and breathes on its own. You can now, granted, a lot of spoilers. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the difference, though, because it's like this takes place after, but Vigilantes takes place before.
Yeah, I would say maybe the spoilers would probably hinder that because it pretty much is like niggas defeated Sukuna. I don't know if you noticed, and et cetera, et cetera. So who knows? But I'm not mad at it thus far. I think people, we all give it a chance. It should be ending probably by next, spring, summer?
Yeah, I say spring, like April.
Allegedly, I'm heavy big on allegedly because Gege might be like, nah, I'm in my bag right now. Wait a minute, and I got it, and I got another nigga drawing it. He's hang gliding right now. I keep telling y'all. He's just having a blast. He's just throwing script copies at someone. He was like, yo, add this in and add this and another text bubble here. You know what I'm saying? I need another panel. Gege's in his bag. You don't got to draw it. Come on now. He's like, I feel like Toriyama. Let me come up with the ideas.
Did I cut out?
Someone else draws it. My Toyotaru draws it. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. Any final words on it? Any final words? Predictions. Let's leave on that. There's a prediction.
A war happens. Oh, did AD leave us? A war happens between humans and aliens. And somehow the power of love and friendship between alien and human stops the war. Yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
The power of alien and
shit.
Yeah.
You're good, AD. You're back.
Okay. Yeah. Rain and pouring down over here.
Okay. Quick predictions. Predictions for this series before we head out.
Oh, that's nice. You didn't get to hear mine, so I wonder if we'll end up saying the same thing.
You can listen to it.
Let's see. Of course,
it would be funny if y'all say the same thing.
Yeah, one of the siblings is gonna die, of course. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Death.
We're gonna have probably a government conspiracy where that will push the war for the, between the Simurians and, the humans and everything like that.
Name a character who's coming back.
Character who's coming back
from the original one.
Oh,
a character.
Mojito. But that's a given.
Mojito. But besides Mojito, we already saw him. Another one.
There is the Sukuna finger still there.
Ooh, I see what you're saying.
The Sukuna finger is still there. I feel like Yuta might pop back up, either Yuta or Rika, because the ring is still there.
There you go. Probably not Yuta though. He's dead. They already said.
I'm
that nigga toast.
I'm holding off on the Gojo thing.
Gojo?
I'm holding off on the Gojo. Like, whoever the Six Eyes is, Gojo.
This is why I love AD so much, is because you'll be like, give you a take, and he'll take it and take it to somewhere where you're like, that's more than a hot take. Like, it's scorching. You're like, the whole building's on fire at that point.
I'll say this. If Mojito is alive and he seems to be looking for Yuji is also still alive. That's my prediction. Gotta be, right?
Yuji's grandkid.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, he could have grandkids. I mean, I don't know who would procreate with him.
That one girl.
Was that one girl? The one girl from the It's Like That?
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that.
Dang, what if he did crack It's Like That?
It's like that.
They had a little the little side chapter or whatever like that where they met back up after Shibuya, or not Shibuya, but Culling Games. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. It's like a little thing.
I gotta read the end again. So I'm good. My prediction is that Yuji is still in this series, and that is why Mahito is looking for him.
Like, you old nigga, where you at?
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
It's gonna be over. It's gonna be the Boondocks episode.
Still on site, right? Stink meter. Old man.
I was thinking about when Thugnificent. I was thinking when Thugnificent moved across.
Oh, you just mad because your ass is old?
No, definitely. Come on, Stink meter versus Granddad, but in Yuji versus Mahito form. Come on, man. There you go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, next week we will be covering the second core of Frieren, so make sure you guys re-up on that, at least rewatch it, because Frieren, brand new season, coming out January 2026, has most series coming back also January 2026. We are continuing our trek through, kind of rewatching, establishing, talking about things that have happened this year as we prep for our best and worst of 2025 in anime and manga. So thank you guys. Stay tuned. Stay ready. Don't meet us there. Beat us there. This is a lookout. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.